All right, guys. It is currently 9:15 on Friday evening, and I wanted to jump back here on my social media platforms because we have a life-threatening situation pushing into northwest Alabama as we speak right now. This is a life-threatening situation. If you live up here in Aberdeen, Mississippi, if you live up here in Amory, Mississippi, if you live in Detroit, Sulligent, Beavertown, Hamilton, Ewan, Winfield, Brilliant, Natural Bridge, Lynn, or Carbon Hill, because there is a line of severe storms that are coming out of Mississippi, coming towards the northwestern corner of Alabama, and they are capable of producing 90-mile per hour winds. Yes, 90-mile per hour winds coming towards Sulligent, Detroit, Hamilton, Beaverton, Ewan, Winfield, Brilliant, Natural Bridge, Phil Campbell, and places up here in far northwestern Alabama. This is a very serious and life threatening situation coming out of Mississippi, coming over here into far northwestern Alabama. And I'll go back over here and put on the reflectivity and show you that the line of severe storms is from Needleton down here to Amory and Aberdeen, Mississippi, and then curving down here to a point near West Point, Mississippi. Now, the warning from the National Weather Service in Jackson over here, which was issued about 45 minutes ago, the updated warning says this. A severe thunderstorm was located over Prairie or near Aberdeen, moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. This is a very dangerous storm. Hazards include 90 per hour wind gust. You are in a life threatening situation. Flying debris will be deadly and those caught without a shelter. Now, here's the deal this is an extremely dangerous situation with tornado like winds expected. So, this is a very life threatening situation coming in here to Amory, Aberdeen, then getting up here to Smithville in Mississippi, and then eventually getting over here towards Detroit, Sulligent, Vernon, Hamilton, Ewan, Winfield, Brilliant, and then eventually getting over here to Haleyville, Double Springs, Nauvoo, and Carbon Hill. Now, this looks likely it is going to be stay north of the city of Fayette, north of the city of Belk and Berry. But this is a very life threatening situation coming up here to the northwestern portions of Alabama. Also, if you're watching me towards Phil Campbell, Hackleburg, Hodges, or Vena, you need to go on ahead and think about going to your safe place around 9:30 to 9:45 as these extremely dangerous winds try to push through your area. So first up is going to be Detroit, Sullivan, and Vernon, and then the next up is going to be Hamilton and Ewan, places like that. Okay, so the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center, I also need to mention, has just issued a severe thunderstorm watch for a good portion of our area because of the severe storms that are in progress. And I also need to mention that there is another batch of severe storms down here between Louisville and Noxapater, Mississippi. And if you track those on out, they would come on across to Macon, Sugar Lake, and then eventually Carrollton, Aliceville, and then Tuscaloosa. But the most significant and severe issue right now is going to be this batch of storms up here between Amory and Aberdeen, curving up here towards Smithville, because these storms are capable of producing 90 per hour winds, and this is an extremely dangerous situation. Now, what you see here, this black donut hole, is the actual Columbus Air Force Base radar site up here, just north of the city of Columbus. This is where the winds and the radar is actually out of the Columbus Air Force Base. So we are getting really close to the radar. These winds are, and hopefully those winds will not do anything or knock the radar off, because that would be really bad for our friends up here in Detroit and Sulligent, because we would eventually have to switch over to the Birmingham radar. But for right now, the actual line of storms is coming right over the radar site as we speak. It has come on through Amory, Mississippi, and it's come on through Aberdeen, but this is a very serious situation for the northwestern portion of Alabama, and including Lamar and Marion counties, for winds of 90 miles per hour coming into an area from Hackleburg down to Hamilton, Detroit, and Sulligent, and then eventually getting over here towards Guin, Winfield, and Brilliant, Haleyville. This is a serious situation as these storms are just on the other side of the state line. And this is a very serious situation. We have other storms of concern down here near Noxaprater and Louisville, Mississippi, getting over here towards the Brooksville, Macon, Sugar Like areas, and then eventually getting over here to Carrollton and Aliceville. But for right now, the most significant severe weather is going to be for that batch up there coming into the northwestern corner of Alabama with this right here. And anytime, let me go ahead and back this out just a little bit. Anytime that you see a Boeing line that was coming into Amory, Mississippi, with this coloration of the bright green, that is not a good look. And that is not, I can expect that you will start hearing damage reports out of Amory here pretty soon, because that is a pretty significant little wind event that just came through Amory. Next up would be Smithville, and then getting over here to the state line, and then getting across the state line to Detroit, Sulligent, Beaverton, Ewan, Winfield, Brilliant, and Hamilton. So this is going to be a very, very serious situation for the northwestern corner of Alabama. There are other storms in progress across the area, but those are the most significant ones right now. This line of storms curves from Jackson, Mississippi, all the way up to Tupelo, Mississippi, and even into Tennessee. So this is the first batch of storms that are coming into the state, and then there are other storms back off to the west of our location. Okay, so I wanted to also read you this. Um, There is a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued until 4 a.m. on Saturday for the following areas: in central Alabama, Bibb, Walker, Dallas, Perry; in northwest Alabama, Marion and Winston; and in west central Alabama for Fayette, Green Hill, Lamar, Marengo, Pickens, Sumter, and Tuscaloosa counties. So this is a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued until 4 a.m. For a good portion of northwestern Alabama. So that is the issue right here. But once again, if you're watching me in Sulligent, Detroit, Hamilton, Brilliant, Winfield, you guys have got to be in your safe place right now for the potential of 80 to 90 mile per hour winds coming into your location right now. Those winds are the equivalent of an EF1 or EF0 to EF1 tornado. So this is a very serious situation. You need to go ahead and be in your safe place. Treat it like a tornado warning if you are in Detroit, Sulligent, Beaverton, Hamilton, Hackleburg, or Hodges. Phil Campbell as well. We have, let's see, um, I'm trying to read everything to see if there's any other um, issues here. Okay, and the severe thunderstorm watch is basically for from Marengo County all the way up to Lauderdale County, and it does include the Tuscaloosa metro area. And let me see, there's other warnings coming out. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Lamar and Marion counties. Okay, so brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Lamar and Marion counties. So this is a very serious situation that is coming in here to the north, the area up here of Hamilton, Detroit, and Sulligent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and let the warning pop up on the screen, and then you can see where actually the severe thunderstorm warning is actually going to be. All right, guys, so if you're just now joining me here, this is Stephen Ray, and we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service in Birmingham that includes Hamilton, Detroit, Sulligent, and places like that up here in northwest Alabama for Marion and Lamar counties. This includes Beaverton, Sulligent, Detroit, and Hamilton. And this is for wind damaging straight line winds of 60 miles per hour. However, on the other side of the state, the Weather Service in Jackson had these winds of 70 to 80 miles per hour. So this is a very dangerous situation coming up here towards Hamilton. A severe thunderstorm were located along a line extending from near Fulton to 8 miles northwest of Bedford, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. Hamilton, Sulligent, Detroit, Beaverton, Lamar County Airport, Weston, Cruz, Bedford, Hanson Springs, and places like that need to be in your safe place right now. This is a very dangerous situation for the northwestern corner of Alabama. And so let me turn on the radar, and there comes your extreme winds coming out of the Mississippi area. And I just got a notification here. So And once again, this warning for Lamar and Marion counties goes until 10:15 tonight. So this is a very serious situation. I also need to mention that the Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center has placed a good portion of northwestern Alabama, including Tuscaloosa, underneath a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. And this all includes all the way from Marengo County all the way up to Lauderdale County in northwestern Alabama until 4 a.m., and it does include the Tuscaloosa metro area. So this is a very serious situation. First warning of the day from these storms as they move into far northwestern Alabama. So if you're watching me right now in Hamilton, Detroit, Sulligent, Beaverton, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place right now. I would treat this as a tornado warning because this is a very serious situation. And I'm sorry for that. I dropped my phone. And so that was what the noise was there. Let me check and see if there is anything that I need to tell you guys. But this is a very serious situation right now coming into far northern Alabama. And so this is a serious situation. If you live in Hamilton, Detroit, Sulligent or Beaverton for winds of 70 miles per hour coming in from Amory, Mississippi right now. So this is a very serious situation, and I would not be surprised to see widespread wind damage back up here towards this area as well. And I'm looking over all of the reports. And the good news is, I do not see any damage reports as this came on through Amory, Mississippi. So that is good news for right now. But this is a very serious situation coming up here into the northwestern corner of the state of Alabama. So once again, I am Stephen Ray, and you're watching severe weather coverage from a couple of storms that are in northwestern Alabama here in northwestern Alabama, and these storms are coming out of Mississippi. And the warning across the state line over here in Mississippi says that the winds coming out of this system are upwards of 80 miles per hour. So this is a very serious situation coming here from Hamilton to Detroit to Sulligent, and then moving down here to Beaverton as well. And I keep getting notifications here. So let me see. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning continues for 60 mile per hour winds for Lamar and Marion counties until 10:15. So there comes your extreme wind on the others coming on the other side now of the radar beam, and the extreme line of wind is getting really close to the state line right now, coming up here to Detroit and Sulligent, just off to the south of the area south of Hamilton. So this is going to be a very serious situation coming up here towards the northwestern portion of Alabama. I also need to mention that not everybody lives up in that area. Let me go back to the radar real quick and show you that we have another batch of severe storms lined up from Louisville to Noxaprater, Mississippi, and this will eventually make it over here to Macon, Mississippi, Sugar Lake, Mississippi, and if it holds together, then of course Carrollton, Aliceville, Gainesville, and then eventually Tuscaloosa. So this is a very serious situation coming up here for, like I said, Lamar and Marion counties right now. Jackson is continuing to issue severe thunderstorm warnings back off to the west because there are more storms around Monroe, Louisiana, and Alexandria, Louisiana, and then there are more storms, even more back here in, let's see, southern Oklahoma and northern Texas as well. So this very well may be round number one of two rounds later this evening and overnight tonight. But the reason that I'm here is because we have a very serious situation of a damaging wind threat coming in here across northern Alabama, and this does include the Hackleburg and the Hamilton areas right now. And if you're watching me in Hamilton, Detroit, Sulligent, Vernon, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place right now. And I do need to also mention that if you're up here in Red Bay, you need to go ahead and think about being in your safe place for this batch of storms that is trying to move and go due north over here towards Fruiton, Mississippi as well. So Red Bay, you guys are not under any kind of warning right now, but you do need to watch this storm as it is over here towards the Mississippi state line as it continues to push on off to the north and to the east. So once again, if you are in Hamilton, Detroit, Sulligent, or Beaverton, you need to go on ahead and be in your safe place right now. Treat this like a tornado warning because winds of 60 to 70 will be producing a lot of damage over your location. Damage is expected to roofs, siding, and trees with this storm as it comes out of Mississippi and moves towards the Detroit, Alabama area. Also, let me real quick let me mention that there is a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 4 a.m. For a good portion of northwestern Alabama. And like I said, Jackson, Mississippi is continuing to issue severe thunderstorm warnings all the way back into Arkansas. So the good news is I'm not seeing any signs or seeing anything right now on the numerous chats that I'm in of any kind of damage across northern Mississippi, which is good. But that could change at any time. So that's why I think you guys need to go ahead and be in your safe place if you are up here in the northwestern portion of Alabama because this is a very dangerous situation. Coming into Lamar and Marion counties this morning goes until 10:15. It is currently 9:37. So this warning goes until 10:15 for Lamar and Marion counties for winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour from the line of storms that are coming out of Mississippi. And I'm trying to see if there are any cameras that we can actually look at up there near the Hamilton area to kind of get a look of what it's going to be like when this area of storms comes through the area near Hamilton. And once again, this is a very life threatening situation because the storms had a potential of producing 90 mile per hour winds just a little while ago as they were coming through the Amory, Mississippi area. So let me see. Okay, that was from Jackson, but that is a large hail report. So that is not anything having to do with any damage reports from Amory, Mississippi. And that is good news. But the warning just across the state line continues for a couple more minutes for the potential of damaging straight line winds. And then it will eventually get over here towards Detroit, Sulligent, and Hamilton, Alabama. So, what right now the reason that I'm here is because we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Lamar and Marion counties for winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour, and I'm actually going to see if the National Weather Service in Memphis has any reports from this storm as it came through the Amory, Mississippi area. Okay, the good news is I do not see any reports of any kind of damage coming right now through Amory, Mississippi, as of right now, from the National Weather Service out of Memphis. So that is good. The only damage report that they have right now is a little bit further off to the west. So that is really good news over there near the Natchez Trace. So there are no damage reports coming in from Amory, Mississippi right now, which is good, which is where the damaging straight line winds just came from when they were 90 miles per hour by the signature that they were putting out on the radar. So that is good news. So no damage reports as of right now from the National Weather Service out of Memphis, and they cover Amory and Aberdeen, Mississippi. So once again, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Lamar and Marion counties for the potential of damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70. And I know that this looks a little bit weak right now, but the reason that it is weak and weak looking is because the actual storms are just now passing over the radar site out of the Columbus Air Force Base. And this is okay, National Weather Service in Birmingham continues the severe thunderstorm warning for winds of 60 to 70 for Lamar and Marion counties until 10:15. So they are continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Lamar and Marion counties until 10:15. So let me go back over here to the radar, and I will get in here and show you. This warning goes for another 32 minutes, by the way. Severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from Tremont to 6 miles east of Detroit to near Lamar County Airport, moving east at 45, damaging wind gusts upwards of 60 to 70, and expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Now, here are the locations impacted by this storm: Hamilton, Sulligent, Detroit, Beaverton, Lamar County Airport, Weston, Cruz, Bedford, Hanson Springs, Scottsville, Rankin Fight Airport, Bird, Pine Springs, and the Marion County Public Lake. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning for my friends a little bit further off to the south. Uh, Over here, just off to the west of Pickens County, there is now a severe thunderstorm warning that is coming into Noxubee County, Mississippi. So let me take you down here and show you that if you are near Brooksville, if you are near Macon, or if you're near Sugar Lac in Mississippi, you need to go on ahead and think about going to your safe place from the line of storms that are coming from Mississippi. And so there is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Brooksville, Macon, and Sugar Lac, Mississippi right now. So that is the issue of concern right now. And we will let that warning pop up, and then we'll go back up here to the northern storm here very soon. And so I'm just reading over everything real quick to see if we have any other updates from the National Weather Service. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, we do not. So once again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is coming up in the Marion and Lamar counties. So Jackson continues to issue severe thunderstorm warnings, and there is your new warning for Crawford, Brooksville, and Macon and Sugar Land, Mississippi. And this goes all the way up to Pickensville and Memphis. They are in the Pickens County and Alabama areas as well. So once again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Brooksville, just off to the west of Pickens County. So once again, the significant severe weather right now, and the most significant area is going to be this area up here in northwestern Alabama for Sulligent, Hamilton, and of course Detroit, Alabama. And this is for winds of 60 to 70 with some higher gusts coming into the area from Mississippi right now. So let me take you back over here to velocity, and there would be your intense winds that have come on through Detroit, come on through Sulligent, and come on through places like that. They're coming into Beaverton right now. And then up next would be UN, Winfield, Brilliant, Glen Allen, and then getting over here to Eldridge and Carbon Hill. So there is your intense line of wind carving up from near Hamilton down to Beaverton, and then eventually carving down here into Vernon, and then back into Mississippi, into Caledonia, Mississippi as well. So there is your line of wind that is coming close into Hamilton right now. It is getting close to Beaverton, and it's getting oh so close to Guin as well. So these are winds in excess of 60 to 70. I would not be surprised to see some possible winds up here near 80 miles per hour. So let me take this off and let me look at what this looks like from Birmingham. And it's not as clear because that's real cluttered right there coming from Birmingham because it's so far away. So I'm going to switch back over to Jackson, and there is your intense line of wind possibly coming through downtown Hamilton right now, coming through Beaverton, and then curving back here to Sulligent, Vernon, and then Caledonia, Mississippi. And then you track this on out, and there is your line of wind coming through Columbus, and then curving down here to just off to the west of Brooksville. And then I do note that there is a little bit of rotation that we've got to watch here coming up here towards Macon and Sugar Land, Mississippi. We got to keep our eye on that because that right there, just a second. That is an area of rotation right there that would be coming up here towards the basically the Macon, Mississippi area. So we got to keep our eye on that right now. But once again, there are no formal warnings for Pickens County right now. However, there is one for Lamar and Marion counties. And let me see. Okay, for my friends over here in Tupelo, vehicles stranded in floodwaters in Tupelo from the fire department. The fire department is dispatched to the rescue. So there is flash flooding that is ongoing right now in the Tupelo, Mississippi area. So that is the issue here. And there is a brand new flash flood warning for my friends over there in the Tupelo, Mississippi area because of the ongoing flooding situation. And regardless, guys, that you're going to get a lot of rain out of this, regardless if you get severe weather or not. But for right now, the heavy winds and the severe winds are coming through downtown Hamilton right now. They're coming through Sulligent, Beaverton, coming in real close to Vernon, and then getting back here in the Mississippi near the Caledonia, Mississippi area. So next up for the severe wind line would be Natural Bridge, Haleyville, Hackleburg, Brilliant, Winfield, and then getting down here towards Ewan and Gwin. So this is where your wind line is going to be coming through, and then eventually getting over here to Lynn, Nauvoo, Eldridge, and then eventually Carbon Hill. And if it holds together, Double Springs, Addison, Arley, and then eventually getting over here to my good friends who are over here in Coleman, Alabama. Hopefully, this will dissipate as it continues to push on off into Alabama, but I cannot guarantee that. But once again, this is an extreme situation right now for damaging straight line winds that are coming into the areas of Lamar County right now. And every time one of those warnings go off, I usually pause to make sure that I can read it correctly because there's so many warnings coming through right now and so many other reports and stuff that are coming through. So once again, there are two active warnings, one in East Mississippi, one in West Alabama. The one in East Mississippi is for Noxubee County, which is over here just off to the west of Aliceville, Carrollton, and Pickens County. The other one is for far northwestern Alabama for the potential of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds that are coming up here between Hamilton, Beaverton, and curving down to Vernon as well right now in far northwestern Alabama. Okay, we got some damage reports now coming in from Webster County in Mississippi. A tree fell on a house in Clay County at the Webster Chickasaw state line. So that is from the National Weather Service over there in Jackson. And that's the only damage reports that we've got right now is a tree fell on a home in Clay County at the Webster Chickasaw line, and that's in Webster County back in Mississippi. So that was what that ding was for that you guys heard, and I apologize, but every time it dings, there's a warning that comes out or there is an update from the National Weather Service's offices. So once again, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Hamilton, Detroit, Sulligent for another 20 minutes for the potential of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. And this is looking like this area of storms on the northern end up here towards Hamilton, Detroit, and Sulligent. It looks like now that it is starting to weaken because this area up here has been rain cooled by storms earlier today and large hail that was over here towards Double Springs and Coleman earlier today. So this area up here towards Red Bay, Russellville, Phil Campbell, Haleyville, Double Springs, that area up there has been worked over by storms previous earlier today. However, down here towards Tuscaloosa, Aliceville, Sugar Lake, Mississippi, Brooksville, this area has not been worked over as much. So I think the major severe weather threat is going to be for the far southern areas. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning continues for Lamar and Marion until 10:15. The warning is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And let me see if they have updated it in the text here. As of 9:55, which was 1 minute ago, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles northeast of Tremont to 6 miles northwest of Gewin to near Blooming Grove, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Now, locations within the path of this storm include Hamilton, Sulligent, Beaverton, Lamar County Airport, Weston Cruz, Hanson Springs, Scottsville, Rankin Fire Airport, Bird, Pine Springs, Baxter, the Marion County Public Lake, and Pikesville. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. That is for Sulligent, Hamilton, and places like that. So basically, your line of wind is somewhere underneath this. For some reason, it's really cluttered up here with the National Weather Service radar in Columbus. You see all of this, I guess you would say, bad feedback. So the winds are coming under it. So I'm going to switch over here to the Birmingham radar and see what we can see here. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to go off of Columbus because everywhere else is not working correctly. So your wind line is going to be somewhere over here towards getting over here towards Brilliant and Winfield now, and curving back into Vernon, and then back over here to the south of Caledonia, Mississippi. So there is your wind line coming on through Hamilton, and then places on further to the east near Haleyville, Brilliant, and Winfield right now. So this is a serious situation for winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. But the good news is, with the line of storms that had the potential. Okay, so the good news is the National Weather Service in Birmingham has going to go on ahead and issue significant weather alerts for these storms for the areas up here of southern Lamar and then Fayette counties. So for this area of the line of the storms to the south of the actual warning right now, they're issuing significant weather advisories, which is a step down from a warning because these storms are absolutely weakening as they move into West Alabama. So this is a good thing. However, they are still packing a punch as of right now if you're over here in Brooksville, Macon, and Sugar Lake. So you need to watch these storms if you're over here towards Reform, Gordo, Carrollton, and Aliceville. So the northern extent of this line is falling apart, which was expected. However, the southern part of the line is continuing to strengthen and keeping its own. We've got to watch these storms around Philadelphia because they will eventually get going and get stuff fired up over here towards York, Demopolis, and Utah, and eventually possibly Tuscaloosa. But for a few more minutes, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes the city of Hamilton for another 14 minutes until 10:15 for northern Lamar and for western Marion County in northwest Alabama for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And this storm has definitely weakened somewhat as it has gotten up here into North Alabama because it was really looking nasty back over here when it was near Amory and Aberdeen, Mississippi. So this is a good trend that it is weakening as it comes on into more stable air in North Alabama. But there again is your line of severe storms that are lined up basically from about Red Bay and Hamilton all the way down to the Jackson metro area in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. And this very well could be round one of severe storms because there is another batch of storms coming in here to the just off to the south of the Fayetteville, Arkansas area, getting into Fort Smith and then curving back here into northern Texas. So that is another area of concern. We've got to watch all of these storms as well to see if they can get their act together and then eventually make it into West Alabama later tonight. So once again, there are your two warnings of concern right now. In one in Mississippi, one in Northwest Alabama. The one from Mississippi is for Noxubee County, which is right over here across the state line from Pickensville and Aliceville. The other one here is for Lamar and Northern Marion County for another 13 minutes now for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds coming into the city of Hamilton right now. Which actually, honestly, your wind line now is well over here into Brilliant and Winfield right now. So let's see. Now, further back off to the west. Further back off to the west in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. Thunderstorm wind damage as of 9 o'clock, which was an hour ago. Multiple trees and limbs down. So that's in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. There is damage over there. Trees and power lines are down in the city of Kosciuszko, Mississippi. So that was what the ding there was for that you heard from the National Weather Service over there in Jackson. So the wind line actually is going to be now curving down through Brilliant, coming into Winfield, and then eventually curving back in here just off to the north of Millport, Alabama, and then getting down here really close to Columbus. So there is your wind line coming into Brilliant, Winfield, Guin, and Guin right now. And then eventually the wind line will get over here to Haleyville, Lynn, Nauvoo, and Carbon Hill. And the good news is a good portion of the Memphis area from the weather service over in Memphis. A lot of their counties they are dropping from the new severe thunderstorm watch. So that is good news that Memphis is dropping a few of the counties from the severe thunderstorm watch. So that is good news. So one more time for about another 10 minutes, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is ongoing right now for Hamilton and Sulligent, but I think the wind line is actually where I have drawn the line here that is coming through Brilliant, Winfield, and then curving down up here north of Millport right now. Because if you go ahead and track this out, you can see the wind line has come on through Hamilton and Sulligent. But there is still a warning there, so go ahead and be in your safe place until this warning is over. However, I feel like that the actual wind line is now more towards Brilliant and Winfield rather than over Hamilton right now. So this is going to continue to push on off to the east and towards the southeast, towards Haleyville, Lynn, Nauvoo, and eventually Carbon Hill. Now, if they do not extend the warning, which I don't think they will, at 10:15, as soon as they either cancel it or let it expire, I'm going to take a break off of social media and then come back when we have more severe weather, and especially when this batch of storms from Brooksville down to Sugar Lac gets eerily closer to Carrollton and Aliceville. Okay, Jackson has issued a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Jasper, Newton, Scott, and Smith counties over there in Mississippi. And this would include Forest, Mississippi. So this is back in far. Okay, good news. Good news. The severe thunderstorm warning for Marion and Lamar, the National Weather Service in Birmingham has allowed it to expire early. So as soon as this warning leaves the radar, I will be signing off of social media for the time being. And if those storms near Sugar Lac, if they continue to push on off and get severe over in Pickens County, I will be right back here on social media. But for right now, there are no more severe thunderstorm warnings in any portion of Alabama because the Weather Service in Birmingham has allowed that warning to expire. So that is the good news. Okay, so we no longer have a warning for any part of Alabama. We still have this warning over here that is for Brooksville, Macon, and Sugar Land, Mississippi. I will continue to watch this, and if it continues to push towards Reform, Carrollton, Aliceville, Gordo, or any places like that, I will be right back here on social media to keep you guys ahead of the severe weather later tonight.